Good morning. Hi, James Locke.
Good morning. How are we?
I'm good. I'm really good. How are you?
I'm really good as well.
Thank you so much for joining us today. So, what I like to do with the people that I get on the couch is start at the start. Not the boring version. I want to know kind of like how you grew up and how your personality was developed in the early years.
Well, how in depth are we going?
Wherever you want to take it. This is
That's
your
something,
time.
You know, I like to think I had quite a good upbringing, if I'm honest. I'm actually from Essex. I'm from East London.
Okay.
I'm actually was born in Whitechapel. I'm from Wapping. All my family's from Wapping, Stepney, Hackney, all from where we are now doing this podcast.
Brought you here.
Yes, I'm a Cockney. I'm very proud to be a Cockney. I'm very proud of my roots. I grew up in a council estate. I'm from Slander Gardens.
Okay.
People have the misperception of, because I'm on Essex, they think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. But I'm from Slander Gardens, which is in Shadwell and Tower Hamlets. But yeah, I had even then, don't get me wrong, it's a council estate, but I still had, a good upbringing. Then moved, moved a bit later on to Dagenham,
Okay.
which is still east, not at the East End. My mum and dad then split up. My dad stayed in Dagenham. I stayed with my dad, which is normally, it's not the norm.
Yeah.
But
It's already starting to make sense.
yeah, it's not the norm. Yeah, exactly. So I stayed with my dad. First time I ever seen my dad is a very proud man. Very, if you could think of an East End geezer, if you like, that would be my dad. He's done, he's actually been on the show with me, TOWIE,
Okay.
a few times. But if you could think of an East End, very like a Ray Winston,
Yeah.
that stereotypical, very East London. And the first time I ever see a weakness in him, which wasn't a weakness, but it wasn't a
interesting
weakness.
choice of words.
Yes, it wasn't a weakness. People perceive it. First impressions, a man upset, as a weakness. It wasn't a weakness. He's showing his real emotion, which is strong, which a lot of men can't show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I stayed with him. My brother and sister went with my mum.
Okay.
Not too far. They went to Chafford 100, which is obviously deeper Essex. I stayed with my dad, which is border Essex. Was more like East London, really.
Did you still have contact with your mum and your siblings?
Of course. But obviously the bond became stronger with my dad,
Yeah.
and obviously naturally weakened with my mum.
Yeah.
Because when you're living with someone, it's completely different demographic.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? You're under one roof.
And
You're
how
living,
old were you?
breathing.
Sorry.
15.
Oh, so it's your prime time
Yeah,
coming
so
into a man.
people think, oh look, you're a bit older, but that is the prime time when you are sculpting yourself
Really?
as a man. Then,
Yeah.
and I don't care what you say. I'm not saying you can't do a good job at bringing up a family, with a single parent, either man or female, but you definitely see influences. There are definitely influences. And I'll tell you why that is. Me and my brother are very different.
Okay.
He's been brought up by my mum.
Yeah.
He's a lot more feminine. He's a lot softer. And me being brought up by my dad, who's very much that character, that East End character. You can see a difference. Even in personality, I'm more, my personality is a mimic of my dad, which I take as it's a compliment.
Yeah.
The charisma, my attitude, the confidence,
Yeah.
is from him. That's what has got me where I am today, because that is how I get spotted. Having that charisma, having that confidence and presence when you're in a room with a load of people, that's what
Yeah.
makes you stand out ultimately.
It's the X factor, isn't it? That's what
That
they
is,
say.
it is. It's having that. And you either got it or you haven't. My brother's a very good looking boy. He's like a model.
Okay.
But he's a model, but he hasn't got that confidence. My dad walks into the room. He's not like me. He's actually short. Like I said, he's like a little Ray Winston. But that character, he can walk in a room. There could be 10 models in there, but he would spot him.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. The guy's got more charisma than anyone I've ever met. And you have to know him and meet his energy. The energy is ridiculous. But again, a lot of people see the similarities with me. They see my mum,
Yeah.
how I look, but they see the similarities in character of him. So I feel like I've got the best of both, really. I'm blessed in that sense. And that, again, like I said to you, it gives me, that's why I know it gives me that little bit of something extra, that's something extra. And that's something a bit special. It's got me where I wanted to be, you know.
So let's go back to that. I am going to
Okay.
talk a little bit about TOWIE. So 15, your dad is a huge influence in your life and you're becoming, what's your dad's name? Sorry.
Stephen.
So little mini Stephen, some Stephen-esque like qualities coming through.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, that put you in real good stead to enter the years of your life, which we're seeing now, young boys really struggling with that period of time. They're not sure who they are.
That is the struggle. You get led from different, at that point, you know, I was always good at sports. I was always, you know, again, like having that, I played every sport, you know, but in that influence, you got, you know, at that time, at that period, you've got your mum, your dad, you got your siblings, you got your you know, your immediate family, not your immediate, no, your aunts and uncles and stuff, cousins, whatever. Then you got your friends and stuff and girls. Like it's still that time. Everything's influencing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It needs to know. That's why, you know, you can either lose focus or lose track.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, even in that early stage, they mess up. They mess up. I'm not saying they mess up their whole life, but they make their first, you know, serious mistake. You know, because there's potential people that I know that have been potential sports stars. Even with me, I know everyone's got a story, but with me, with certain sports, I could have gone further if I had the commitment, but I didn't. I got sidetracked with things. You know, girls were in the mix and this, that, and the other. It's a very cliche, stereotypical story, but it is what it is. See, with me, I believe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I'm big on the universe. You know, without turning into one of these, but I am quite.
Please do take it there.
No, but I am one of the. I do believe everything happens for a reason.
Have you always believed in that?
No.
Okay.
I'm still religious though. I am religious. You know, I've been brought up very religious. So, not say very religious, but I am religious. You know, I'm a Catholic.
That's really powerful, and that's something that I think actually I've not heard you speak about before. I don't think.
No, because I don't. You know something? I keep a lot to myself because too many people have got opinions about religion, politics, background, where you're from. You know, even me just sitting in today telling you where I'm from, you know.
It means something.
And I'm very proud of it. And it makes sense. See, sometimes if you see my friends outside of the show, you think, they don't look like my friends. I'm, you know, because of the show, in the circles I mix. Yeah, but people just never judge a book by its cover. Take everyone, you know, as you see them. Don't ever be influenced by other people's opinions, you know. And I've always stood by that, you know. At the same time, I don't give too much away, not because I'm ashamed of anything, because I want people to see me for me and not make preconceptions.
That's really, really powerful. I think actually that air of mystery is something that people give away everything on social media, and then they feel upset when people have an opinion on it.
Exactly. I think obviously with what I do, social media goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And even though I don't post enough as I should have. I should, you know, because I don't look at myself as, like, I go into TV when I look at myself as a TV personality.
Okay.
And I got into TV when social media, it was still big, it was Facebook and stuff, but it wasn't as big as what it is now. And see now, people live and breathe, like their life, they're more alive on social media than they are in real life. And, you know, I have my agent and stuff like, you need to be giving more content, you need to be doing, like, being more real. Well, being more real is not being online. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do get it, like, this is, if I want to, you know, it helps me with my business. So don't get me wrong, I have actually said that I'm going to be more active, but I don't want to lose myself being more active on a social media platform, which everyone needs to remember is fake.
Thank you.
It's fake. And people, you go on that social media platform, everyone, you can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
You could, you know, to the outside world, you know, only you deep down, what's that, you know, is it Japanese or Chinese proverb where everyone's got three faces? Do you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't even know what it is, but yeah, there's that proverb. But people need to remember that people reinvent themselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And even within the stuff that I do to TV, my name is Lockie, and I'm on a reality TV show, but you don't see everything on that show.
Yeah.
Like even me sitting here today, I've just told you that I'm not even from Essex, I'm from East London. You would never know that. You will never know that I've not got like a rich mum and dad, and you know what I'm saying? It's a silver spoon, and if it all goes tits up, I'm sweet. And the fact of the matter is, if it all goes tits up, it's on me.
So how do you balance then those like traditional East End morals with, you know, this push towards showing everything online? Like, and I mean, in actuality, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? Who do you hang around with to stay grounded?
Do you know what I'm saying? Up till today, or recently, I've sort of just winged it a little bit and gauged it and just tried to handle it myself, which I haven't done too bad. But I'm at a point in my life, I feel like I'm at my peak in life. I feel like now it's about going, you know, I know where I want to be. I know who I am, which is, you know, very important for anyone. I know my pros, I know my, you know, my pros and my cons, you know, my strengths and my weaknesses. I know where I am now, where I want to be. I can't get there on my own. You know, it's, you know, I can only do so much.
Yeah.
A lot of things are about who you know, contacts, networking, and you do have to treat your life sometimes as a business, and you've got to delegate. So now I'm starting to delegate. So I'm bringing in certain people with certain attributes, certain, you know, qualities that can help me now, or allow me to still live my life, be me, but it will still help me to then get the content that I need to get, show what I need to show, promote how I need to promote my life, to influence people in a positive way, for them then to then, you know, buy into me, not buy into me, but, you know, when you say buy into me, but they buy into me as a person, you know, and then when I say buy into me as a person, that's not, you know, meant as I'm just here to sell something, but then buying into me, they will then get more an in-depth vision of me, an in-depth, like an in-depth vision of me where they can then see the real me, and they will understand why I'm doing X, Y, and Z, why I'm going here, I'm doing this, why I'm endorsing this product, or why I've got this business. Do you know what I'm saying? So
totally. It's personal branding.
Yeah, because it helps, you know, delegating helps manage, because that's the thing. One thing I struggle with is multitasking, like a lot of men, I think, and, you know, structure, organisation. You know, I'm organised to a certain degree, but I'm not the most organised. I need help with structuring and organisation. So that's where I am at the minute. I'm currently putting things into place to get myself to where I need to be.
So I'm going to ask you a question on the back of that.
Go.
You are very self-aware. You seem to have been on you're very you're aware of the impact that you have on the world, but also how, you know, you may negatively impact your relationships. And that's something that we've seen through programs that you've been on and stuff. When you say you're bringing in people, does that, you know, I'll be honest, a lot of men that seem to be as self-aware as you have usually had therapy. Is that something that you've had before? Is that something that...
I've had therapy, again, but before. I've become a lot more in tune with myself over the last few years.
Okay.
2 to 3 years.
Following what? How did that...
That just a few things happened. I feel like my life was going round in the same circle.
Okay.
That's where I become more spiritual, believing in the universe, open my mind to things, you know, like people don't open their minds, but people dismiss things. I've become a lot more open-minded to things. I allowed, you know, not the popular thought in my own head to be heard. Okay. See, before I dismiss things straight away, I wouldn't even entertain it. So in the last few years, I've become more spiritual. I've become more open-minded to more possibilities, and that's when I become more in tune with myself. And I started realization about my pros and my cons, what my triggers were, what was holding me back in life. And once I've done that, that's a strength in itself. Self-awareness is a strength. You know, denial, listen, people go through their whole life in denial.
Literally.
You can keep denying it or play the blame game, keep blaming, or sitting there thinking someone's coming to rescue you. You know, this is the other thing as well. Everyone thinks they're going to be famous. Everyone wants to be famous. That's like a little, you know, someone just thinks, you know, being famous is not going to answer all your problems. Fame brings a lot of other shit with it. And if anything, it actually makes things worse.
So one of my questions to you today was going to be, on TOWIE, you were pitched as like, you know, this Adonis, really good looking guy. That's been the narrative of your career.
Of course.
Do you think that's helped you more in your career or harmed you more?
It's harmed me a little. It's harmed me. It's a weird one. It's held me back in certain ways, but then if there's pros and cons to it, of course. There's obviously more pros, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. Do you know what I'm saying? But how I was portrayed, you know, as this, a good-looking guy, a Jack the Lad, a bit of a womanizer, you know, Lothario, is good in one aspect, you know. But at the same time, because I was a little bit of a fucker, they, you know, it was people liked me, you know what I'm saying? Because I was and the things I'm very honest, I used to, if I was in the wrong, I'd have a little laugh on things, I might hold off, kill me a bit of suspense, but in the end, I'd hold my hands up and I'd apologise. And people, you know, ultimately, you've got a good heart and, you know, you admit when you're wrong and you hold your hands up, you know, the public can relate to you. It's about being relatable as well. So even though I was this guy, put on a pedestal, bit of a fucker, because when I did fuck up, I held my hands up and I apologised
Yeah.
rather than deny. How a lot of people are, you know, in this day and age. People like that and they made it relatable. So I'm a liked character,
Yeah.
even though I was a little bit of a toe rag on TOWIE. I'm a liked character. But in terms of progression, I feel like it's a weird one. We're very different to like the UK and America, for instance. Just for example, it's a weird one.
Okay.
It's like they love the jock.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
they
yeah.
love the jock over there.
Yeah.
See someone like me. I notice that again. Someone like the jock,
Yeah.
they triumph over there. Over here is always the underdog. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel I get overlooked a lot for a lot of stuff. And look, you see me sitting here today. I know I'm articulate. Again, I know I'm articulate. I can do most stuff. I can present. I've been on reality TV. I can act. I've been doing acting class for a long time. But having that stigma with TOWIE, it makes it very difficult. You know, don't get me wrong. I know where I'm going to be. Yeah, I visualize that. I know where I can be.
Yeah.
It's now just getting the right team around me to help me get there. I try to do it on my own. I realise I can't get there on my own because it's not as easy as that. You do need people. It is who you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can only have so much talent.
Yeah.
We're only get you so far. But it is who you know. And I feel sometimes being in the UK isn't for me. I've got friends, without mentioning their names, the same, and they're girls and boys. They've gone to the US.
Yeah.
They're flying now. Where they're pretty, very pretty girls. Girls hate on them. They'll look at them, follow them, go and buy what they're promoting, but they're bitchy. Do you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm in shape straight away, steroids, this, that, the other. Do you know what I'm saying? It's even when I'm out, like, got people come up and watch the show. I don't watch that shit, but then they know everything that's going on. It's shit, but you can tell me my last 10 years history. They tell me stuff that I don't remember.
And you've taken the time to come and talk to me about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
If you're unbothered, why am I taking up space in your life?
Exactly. And then they'll be there. I'll give them the time of day. They'll probably still go away and go, that Lockie's a prick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But who cares? I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, I know that in that moment, I'll still give them the time of day. I know I was a nice guy, a nice person.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't second think it. And if people write stuff to me online, I don't care about what they write online either. And this never really fazed me. You know, I've had my fair share of stick.
Yeah.
But it's just part of it. Again, you just got to understand it. People get, average Joes get trolled.
And this is the thing. Like, sorry to interject.
No, you're fine.
But I feel like, with the trolling and with the negativity on social media, hearing about your early life, it's a bit of a non-question because I presume part of the reason you've got this attitude and this sense of self is because of your dad and being grounded in your identity.
No, the self-awareness has come from just me maturing.
Okay.
You know that it's come from me. No one's helped me with that. That was a journey I went through on my own. So I've gone through that. My dad's not spiritual at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. Yeah, again, my mum and dad have both been brought up Christian.
Okay.
My dad's Church of England. My mum's Catholic.
Okay.
But they're not really spiritual people. That is all come about on my own.
Okay, through your
from my own experiences, my own network.
Yeah.
Like my network of people is a lot wider.
Okay.
My dad's people are all East London people. My mum's people are all East London people. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
So you've taken the platform they gave you, the ingredients, and you've kind of cherry picked this life for yourself almost.
Yeah. But the one thing they did give me, my dad, is again from the charisma and the social aspect. I can talk to anyone from any background.
Yeah.
And that's a power in itself. The amount of people that can't converse unless they're talking about themselves is or converse in general anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But that to be able to talk about multiple subjects to different people from different backgrounds, that's a power.
Mm-hmm.
And you realise that when you're in my position and you've got to talk to different. I'm coming today to talk to two people I've never met before.
Yeah, totally.
And I know we've got a subject we're talking about, but we don't know each other. And we're just
vibing.
winging it. Some people come here, I know straight away because I've had a very similar, again with the reality TV.
Yeah.
I'm putting scenes with people, again mentioning no names, and they're like, it's like getting blood out of a stone trying to have a conversation with them. And I'm thinking, it's like, you know what I'm saying? There's certain characters on there that are put into the scenes, and it's not like this is a known fact. Producers will stick us in, even though we've got no relevance to the scene, but we're there to. It's like being a presenter and we're helping the scene move along because these two people are dry lunches and they won't talk. you know what I'm saying? It's
Do you think that's because, again, with the rise of social media, and especially there'll be young people watching this who have no idea who they are? I feel like oftentimes people don't know what to say because they're so scared of saying the wrong thing, or
they're too self-absorbed. Like, look at Love Island in this day and age. I'm not saying I'd ever
look at the weather, yeah, babe, yeah,
yeah. They haven't got. They're too self-absorbed, and that's even. I'm not saying. Look, back in the day, you look at the old. What made Love Island big? You know, it is a great show, and what made it big is people going on there not really giving a fuck, just treating it like a lad's or a girl's holiday.
Yeah.
You know, cracking on with someone, sleeping with someone, whether you agree with that or not, don't agree with that on in general. On TV,
It made good TV.
It made good TV,
Yeah.
which is ultimately what we're there to make. Yeah. Now they're too self-absorbed. They don't go on there, and they're all they're thinking about
Brand
is
deals.
brand deals or getting rich. When ultimately, what they need to remember or understand is that most of them are going to get forgotten about. Okay, being an individual, being a bit controversial, even being. You still remember Nasty Nick from Big Brother?
Yeah.
Being a fucker gets you places. Me on my thing, me on TOWIE, being that bad guy, being a bit of a fucker, has kept me in the industry 12 years. There's been people that have come and gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, being that fucker, sometimes you ain't always got to be the hero. You know what I'm saying? You can just be you, be an individual. You know, have a bit of charisma, have something about you, a bit of substance.
Yeah.
Whether it's everyone's going to always have an opinion, whether that everyone's always going to like you or not like you. Even when you're, even when you think you're being your best self, someone's always going to have an opinion, say, oh, he's a bit smug.
Yeah.
Or she's a bit smug.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Just be you.
So on your journey, you said that you've come to this place of like awakening almost, or, spirituality through the experiences that you've endured. What pearls of wisdom, obviously I'm not saying specific experiences, but if you could have had like a fast track to the lessons that you've learned, what would they have been?
Enjoy the moment. Appreciate the moment. Appreciate the journey. Remember that nothing lasts forever. Everything is temporary in life. And, especially with, I don't know, say I was speaking to someone going into reality TV. That's in general, as with anyone aspiring to do anything. In reality TV, I stress, just remember, it's over in a blink of an eye for a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you get in and get out, just remember to stay true to yourself. Remember that, you might have an influx of attention and money, whether you like it or not. Listen, it doesn't last. Like I've roller coasted. I've earned loads of money, not so much money. It roller coasters. Be humble, Don't get that money and go out and start being a champagne Charlie, thinking you're, a footballer or a rapper, because you're not. Save some of that money, because I've seen a lot of people, 1 minute they're flying, next minute they're on their ass, they're bankrupt. Do you know what I'm saying? And then that brings another lot of problems with itself.
Yeah.
Even worse than being on TV. When you're skint and you
got ego.
you're pushing 30 and you're skint, that's
Yeah, it's not.
When you're young, you can half get away with it. No, we're not saying you can get away with it, but
it's easier to brush off.
Yes,
There's the hope that I'll make money.
Yeah, of course, but it's just being sensible with. I've been a victim. I've done that. I've got on there, been overly flash and been a bit of a champagne Charlie, but I've always stuck money away as well. I'm 50-50 for me. But a lot of people I've seen, 1 minute you see them flying, next minute they're gone. Like, what's happened to that person? They've gone missing because they're not on the circuit, because they've got nothing.
Carried away.
Yeah, they've got carried away.
In terms of your personality, like you said, the jock, that's a great way if you wanted to put it in a box almost. So you're so much more than that, clearly.
No, of course, yeah. I'm just saying if you wanna just simplify it. Yeah. I'm not saying it's the best. There's probably a better terminology for it, but that was just off the cuff on top of my head.
It's relatable.
But it's you got the geek in the school, or they're not even the geek. You got someone who's like the bit of the underdog. You've seen it in all these teen films that have all grown up. That's what I'm trying to say. Even with reality TV, they have a structure to that. They have people that tick every box, so that everyone can relate to someone within that cast. It's a lot more in depth, a lot more cleverly put together than people realise. They just think it's a bunch of friends that have just chucked. Oh, look, they're all friends. No, it's someone there in everything. In every demographic that ticks a box, so you can relate to it, which brings in more viewers, which brings in more money.
Yeah,
it's a business. It's a business. Understand? We're all here to make money. Like people say, money don't make you happy, but money does make life easier. It enables you to live a life to well, gives you freedom. You know, it's not about being flash, it's about giving yourself freedom to do what you want to do and make yourself happy. You know,
Makes sense.
I'd rather have money than no money.
Rather cry in
you
a
know?
Ferrari than not.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
that-
Not necessarily having a Ferrari. No, that's what I mean. It's just having that. Again, that's materialistic things. I'm not getting at that because see, when I go out, you know, I don't know. I've had very nice cars,
Yeah.
watches. Gone. You know, I can go anywhere. I'm out tonight in Mayfair. I can go anywhere I want and eat where I want. But I'm quite happy to go Mayfair tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm quite happy to go sit in Nando's or a Turkish, like a little Turkish restaurant or a takeaway. I'm very happy in both.
Yeah.
Where some people, they think they always have to be in the it place and they've got to get 1,000 pictures. Half the time, I don't need to take pictures that I'm there, you know? Again, I can go to Marbella, I can go to Vegas, Dubai, but at the same time, I can go to, if I had to, I'll go like Magaluf.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm quite happy to go to Eva and have a laugh with my pals. It's having that balance.
Yeah.
You know, that's powerful. You haven't always got to go to Dubai, be at that beach club, wearing them shorts, wearing all this designer drip, all this drip.
Like a walking
See the
advertisement.
drip, let's see with me. Like, again, yeah, don't get me wrong, I've got a few odd things, you know, but all these T-shirts and all this, like, why? You can wear it once or
But
a
that's
couple of
because
times.
you're confident. That comes from an inner
Yeah, but
confidence.
a lot of people do it. And the problem is obviously you see people that can afford it, but even then, they're wearing it. But even, again, even these people that are right at the top, there must be deep embedded issues with them. You know what I'm saying? When all the lights are gone and they're sitting and they're in there on their own, there must be something with them. Yes, you might like the gear, but listen, you might like the clothes, but what I'm trying to say is, like, I just don't justify it, and I can't justify that. I'd rather than buy, you know, see, like now, rather than go and buy, a 25, 30 grand, 40 grand watch, I'd rather go and buy a property. Or put, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that way. But I think, obviously, maybe that's part of growing up. You know, I'm not here to judge that. Everyone's each to their own. I'm just saying, as I've got older, I have been that person.
Yeah.
Never really with the clothes sort of things, because even with the watches, they're still investments.
Yeah.
They're not losing money.
Exactly.
But, cars are the biggest waste of money for anyone.
But they're also a way that people, it's a bit of a status symbol. It like lets people know that you're doing well. So especially young men, I see that a lot.
Of course.
You know, and especially in certain communities as well. Like, you know, they're living in a terrace, like Bradford, for example, they're living in a terrace house. No offense to Bradford.
Yeah.
You know, but they've got like, you know, Lamborghinis outside.
You get that here, even people in council estate, you've got people, you know, what people need to remember. I know I've over my years, I've met a lot of wealthy people. I mean, seriously wealthy.
Yeah.
Not these people that just got
The hidden layer of wealth.
You know, I'm talking about billionaires, and even a lot of people I'm doing business with now, they're billionaires, and they're just like, you know, debt is a trap. See, you getting that finance. You can finance watches now. You get that. You can even clothes. You can go on some
Finance
websites.
a takeaway.
Yeah, yeah. That is all right. That debt is control. You don't realise it, but that's their way of controlling you. Someone, whoever you owe that money to, has some sort of control over you. You might not realise it. You might be, well, I can make my payments. It doesn't matter, but they're still controlling because you owe them that money.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
And when someone explained that to me, I started realising, don't get me wrong, you can, a lot of the wealthy do use debt to their advantage, but you just being aware that that debt is a form of control. As long as you're aware of that, and you're in a position where you can, if you needed to, get yourself out of it, debt can be very powerful. Why pay something off at once when you can structure your payments? Do you know what I'm saying? People do it with big, you know, land deals, like, you know, land bridging deals, bridging loans. There's structure to it. But this is another conversation, which, again, we can go into something else. It's a big conversation. But everything now, as I've got a bit older and I've met a lot of people, I'm a lot wiser to things. So there's certain things I would invest in, you know, and there's certain things that I wouldn't.
I think what I wanted to mention about, you know, your personality is that there will be people watching this. And I think it's really hard actually to be not just a young man, a man in today's society to know, what is it I'm meant to say? What is it I'm not meant to say? You know, which
Yeah, especially, me. I get in trouble a lot for this.
So what I think is, but actually we're seeing also the flip side of that coin is there's so much drive towards, you know, influencers like Andrew Tate or, you know, men who are trying to inspire men to be more masculine once again. You know, actually you're quite prominent as a man that I think people would refer to as being quite a traditional man's man.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Yeah, it is difficult because, again, the way I talk sometimes, people would straight away, even saying where I'm from, straight away, you are a chauvinistic pig. No, you're not. It's like people misperceive things. Like, I don't think people need labels. See this whole, like, you know, with men, if you're, You know, if you're a man's man, means you're a chauvinist and pig. If you're an empowered woman, means you're a feminist. You don't need that. 100 years ago, you had gentlemen and you had ladies.
Yeah.
You know, and they were both very powerful. My granddad respected my nan. She was his lady. And behind every strong man or behind every strong woman, there is a strong partner,
We
which
need
is
each
either a man.
other.
Yeah, exactly. And they're always triumphed. You haven't got to be. I think people use labels now to justify their actions. And ultimately, well, not just justify actions, justify wrong actions.
Yeah.
A lot of wrong actions. If they're acting a certain way, they, you know, because in this day and age, with the feminist movement, you find women, I think what is women saying, well, they're just doing what men are doing or what they think men are doing. When anyone knows the truth, men actually, most of the time, talk bollocks. Because of their egos, they lie. You know, when they go out and they've done X, Y, and Z, half the time they're not, you know. They're always overinflating it
Yeah.
because they're peacocking. Do you know what I'm saying? But now even the women have got egos. Well, women have always had egos.
Yeah.
You know, we're a lot more similar than people realise. But I think all the labels in general, it's not needed. It's getting more and more, it's getting more and more, I don't know, it's getting silly. I think it's getting silly now. I think if you just strip it back, keep it simple. You know, don't need labels, just have to have respect for everyone as individuals, as humans, whatever you want to be, however you want to identify yourself, fine, it's cool, it's not a problem. Don't need to overthink it. Don't need to have debates about it. You want to be that person or whatever you want to be, fantastic.
It's nothing to do.
What are you like as a person? Oh, you're a nice person. Great. If you're not a nice person, you're not a nice person.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to spend time with you. I would waste my energy on you. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Don't need all these labels and stuff. And people get lost in, you know yourself, people get lost in the labels, and people get very, you know, they find it very easy when if you have a label, straight away they have a preconception of you.
Exactly.
If I don't have a label, they can't, you know, even people go, oh, that's Lockie from TOWIE. Oh, he's a reality TOWIE. That's a label. No, my name's Lockie. Okay, I did the show TOWIE. That's it. That's done. That was one part of my life. Do you know what I'm saying? It's people need to be not so short-sighted.
So how do you plan on like shining a light on those other parts of your personality?
I'm gonna change my name. No.
What would you change your name to?
I don't know. James. Well, it's James. That's what I mean. Some people don't realise my name's James Locke. You know, I had some woman come up to me before. I've called her Lockie, come here. Oh, I just want you to meet my son. I've named him after you. I've named him Lockie. What? I said, you do know my name's James? And she's like,
oh.
But yeah, that's a true story. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it myself. But yeah.
It's flattering, I guess.
It was nice. No, don't get me wrong. It's nice. Like I said, I don't really get a bad reception. Very rarely have I had any bother. I've never really had bother. If it's bother, it's people just looking for something.
That's so important though for the viewers as well to kind of recognize that, even like you said, everybody can get victim of trolling, everybody can get negative stuff online, but deal with your real life experiences. Use that as more of an indication of who you actually are.
A bit of advice for anyone: if you don't use if you don't use social media for business, delete it. If you don't use social media for business, delete it, because everyone has traits of narcissism. You understand that? Like, I'm not saying you're a fully blown narcissist. Everyone has traits.
Yeah.
When you speak to a psychologist, you've got these different, you know.
So explain your understanding of narcissism.
My understanding of a narcissism is a narcissist for me is a self-absorbed person, but they will manipulate someone. They can change personality, so it always gets linked to
Personality disorder.
Yes, and that is because they will change and adapt. Yeah. To get whatever they want from that person. Yeah. They seek constant attention and validation. And yeah, look, it can go, from that is an insecurity in themselves. Yeah. But it is an illness. Like I'm saying, this is a psychological illness that we need to understand. And the term narcissist is thrown around far too easily. Yeah. Everyone's got narcissistic traits. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a fully blown narcissist, trust me, that is a very, very dangerous person. Yeah. Some of the most powerful people in the world are narcissists. You know, but they're very good manipulators. You know, he's been able to talk. Well, if you can talk and manipulate a nation, that's a narcissist. Yeah, that is at narcissist's highest form. But again, I can't sit here pointing fingers at people, but it's a very dangerous person to have in your life. If you ever suspect someone being a narcissist, run. Yeah. Run away. But what people need to understand is what I was going back to is everyone's got narcissistic traits. Where they seek validation. You know, it's a little bit narcissist, and then also a little bit of a, not empath, but they when insecurity where they seek validation.
Yeah.
So you put the narcissist is obviously, I've just gone on this holiday, I've just bought this car, I've just bought this watch, this is my girlfriend. You haven't got to show the world. Why you got to show the world? And why have you got to have your page? If you are going to have a page, you don't need to have it open.
Yeah.
Only have close friends. You don't need to have it. If you are going to have a page, keep it for the close friends and family and people you do know. You don't need to have it open to seek, for everyone to see, to show off. You know, look, I've just bought this new Lamborghini or whatever. And then it's also for validation, because if someone puts one bad comment on there, that would, you could have 1,000 great comments. Someone says one bad, oh, I don't like the wheels. What? God, that would do that person nothing.
It grows.
Yeah. So for me, before I did what I do, I never had any social media.
Okay.
So I come on this, and then I started getting a few things. It was Twitter, then Instagram. Obviously, now it's called X.
Yeah.
But yeah, my advice, you don't need social media. That only brings more problems, especially for relationships.
Especially for relationships, and also as being a young man, I think it's just a massive distraction.
Even just a young man and a young woman, because a woman will look at other girls that have been edited to fuck. You know what I mean? Setting Instagram dreams. Now, they don't always. I'm not saying there's not pretty girls, but every girl edits their pictures.
Yeah.
So you cannot look at that and think, oh my God, all these girls are superstars because they're supermodels. You know, if you went on Instagram, everyone's a Victoria's Secret model. That's not the case. Yeah, not saying even that you find, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know, you can find people attractive. This is the true thing for me, because people always go to me, what's your type? I can find someone attractive. You know, there's an attraction. It ain't always about looks. There could be something, charisma, energy. I find someone attractive, because there's been beautiful girls that speak to me, and I just find
the lights are on, but there's no one.
Yes, and I can see they're looking, they're opportunists. There's red flags where they're looking they're looking for a payday.
Yeah.
They listen, they're not silly. They want to live the good life. They want someone. They want to be around someone. This is the whole thing with this whole sugar daddy thing. It's another story. That's another thing.
That's actually one of the questions.
Not saying that I'm a sugar daddy. I don't think I'm old enough for that yet. But that's another thing altogether.
Are you a sugar baby?
Yeah.
You might have some,
No,
Miami.
no. That's what I need. I'm gonna start hanging around care homes looking for an old lady. But yeah, then you got the guys with the ego, and then the guys, you go on Instagram, you think everyone's a millionaire. Look at the statistics. That's what I've seen people post. What I like recently is people have been posting a lot more, about affirmations, positive chats. People have been talking a lot more about some positive stuff and realization and facts. And people have been posting about, look at the actual credentials of this country. The top 1% earn this, the top 5%.
100%.
So there's not as many million. To be in that million, you're in the 1%. There's 1%. If you go on Instagram, you'd think it was 80%.
Isn't it like 100 grand or something? If you
yes,
over 100 grand
yeah.
this year, you're in the top one.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what you need to realise. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like people just need to take a step back and realise even Instagram, not just Instagram, social media is fake. You know, you can be someone completely different to, you know, who you are in real life. People just need to realise that. And like I said, I'll stand by. If you don't use Instagram or, you know, TikTok or anything else for business, or some sort of work, or I don't know, whatever else, either make it private or delete it. All it's going to do is bring you and your loved ones problems.
So you specifically mentioned social media and the impact it has on relationships.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, are you single at the moment? If you were to enter like a committed relationship, how would you deal with social media?
You don't need to show the whole world, and everyone's now competing about who's got the. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, it's narcissistic. It's a little bit because they seek attention. Once that's done, the big wedding's done. It's like, well, we'll do. Oh, now we get a kid. Let's get a kid now, and then we can do baby. We can pop the balloon. Oh my God! Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
But then when difficulty happens, which is inevitable in life, people have no resilience or tools of how to deal with them hard times. And I think that's where we're seeing so much of the rise of, you know, everybody diagnosing themselves with a mental health problem, when actually life happens.
Life is hard, you know, but life is as hard as you make it. You know, every problem does have a solution. I know I'm coming out of a lot of things here, quite old school, but Joe's saying these old school sayings, if you actually start listening to them, very wise people have said them. Listen to them, you know, life is short. All this stuff that you take for granted. If you actually listen to these old sayings that people just dismiss as some old pisshead in a pub come up with, they're actually very wise sayings, you know, embrace them, listen to them. Every problem does have a solution. You know, I'm like, no, I don't care in what situation you are, you know, my life isn't all plain sailing. Like there's always a solution for something, find that solution. Do you know what I'm saying? If you are depressed, there's going to be a solution for that. Go to the gym. It could be anything. Go for a walk. You know, even eating healthier, whatever I don't know. Listen, again, this is a very wide subject. I don't know what you're depressed about, but whatever you're depressed about, there is an answer for that. That only you can change. People can sit there telling you stuff, but again, this then becomes a point where people just want. It's narcissistic. Even that, they want attention.
Want to help people. They help.
I want to,
people.
you know, what I'm saying, oh, I want that job. I want to do this. I want to lose weight. I want to get fit. I want that. Do you know what I'm saying? Whatever they want. Well, listen, no one's coming to rescue you. Go and get it. You can go and get it. You got to go get it yourself. So I'm saying, I've learned that lesson. Especially when, you know, I've been in a position where, you know, I'm in a position where I can go places and people will roll out the red carpet and now I can have freebies, you know, come here and go. But John said even that is a toxic thing in itself, you know. Sometimes, you know, going to all these parties that are free and drinking, what's the aftermath? Me waking up with a hangover, feeling shit. You know what I'm saying? And again, that people misperceive that for depression. No, you're hungover. You're on a downer. You're on a come down. That's not depression.
You've poisoned your body, essentially.
Give it a couple of days. I mean, go sit in the sauna and steam, go for a nice walk, get some nice food, get down the gym. You're sweet. You're brand new. All right? Listen, you're fine. Everything's good. You know, start practicing gratitude. That's a big thing. Affirmations and gratitude. Start, you know, 5 days every day. What are you thankful for? You know, not in front of your friends, your family, your health. You know, your health should be up there. But just being healthy, people take that for granted.
I want to talk to you about health and wellness, and you know, on the vein of self-care, that's another buzzword that people throw around. And for a lot of people, like you said, you know, they might think that's putting on a face mask, but for you, it seems like self-care has been from the inside out. It
can be. Listen, don't get me wrong, it can still be that. Having a little bit, like, you know, you looking good that will give you confidence. That makes you feel better. When you look good, you feel better in yourself anyway. So you know what I'm saying? That you're naturally, that'll boost your confidence. But something you cannot buy, you know, don't give you a billionaire or whatever, is a healthy body. You know, I know people with serious money, you know, they can't live that life to the full because they're not healthy. So it makes sense, but it's all down to how you choose to live your life. Going out partying every night or just, you know, overindulging in certain things, foods, whatever it might be. Find balance. Again, life is about balance. With me, I do party, but I then go to the gym. Do you know what I'm saying? Even just drinking your water, your 3 litres of water a day. Do you know how many people don't drink water? Which is crazy. People don't drink water. And people actually don't understand nutrition, which is crazy as well. Or people buy into all these fad diets, which is madness as well. You know, you can't beat real food.
There's no cheat code to
There's
health.
no cheat codes, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you can go and train as much as you want. You know, I always get thrown around about steroids. Now, let me tell you something. Anyone who knows anything about nutrition, if you're a PT or whatever you are, like if you have got a background, you actually know about your fitness, you can take as many steroids as you want. You can do, you know, as much training as you want. If you don't eat the right food, diet is everything. If you don't eat the right food, you're not getting into shape. People always go to me, how'd you get a six pack? Listen, I see geezers down the gym, they're like 20 stone, or women that are a little bit larger. They're doing sit-ups. I'm like, and they've got a PT teaching them that. That PT, sack him. He hasn't got a clue. Or sack her. Everyone's got a six-pack. Diet. I've got abs. Like, you got abs. Because I've always got my abs. I've got a very strong
core.
I don't know about that in a minute. I've had a very good summer. But I've got a very strong six-pack. And people always ask us, one of the first things they always ask me, you know, that's men and women. Diet, you know, it's diet. Going out and having these pizzas, breads, like bread this, bread that, you know, everywhere you go, Turkish, whatever. It's everything's bread or pastas. You can't eat that.
So how do you stay, you know, you said that you're single, so, you know, typically, historically, you know, men usually have somebody who's providing a lifestyle for them to stay on track. How do you look after yourself?
What do you mean, providing a lifestyle?
As in diet and cooking food and, like, you know.
When I'm with someone, I normally put on weight because they're trying to feed me. They're feeders. But
so what does a week look like for you?
What, eating?
Yeah, wise? Like what, health, wellness, looking after yourself.
For me, like my average day would be, obviously I do a lot with what I do. I train for aesthetic. And that's because obviously with what I do, it's what I look like is I'm a walking advert. So for the fitness app or the you know, anything fitness wise or endorsements that I'm doing, if I'm using a protein shake or a supplement or whatever fitness, I'm an advert, so it's like being it's a fitness model,
Yeah.
in a sense. So I need to look a certain way. So most of the time I'm training for aesthetic.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, I like, the buzz at the minute is paddle, but I like, doing jiu-jitsu for cardiovascular, a bit of Muay Thai as well, all stuff like that. I like doing that, or playing sports or doing whatever. But fundamentally, I stick to the weights and then doing cardio,
Yeah.
certain cardio. I keep cardio depending on what I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to cut, I up the cardio. If I'm not, if I've not got nothing coming up, but I always keep myself in a state. Like now, within 2 weeks, I can change my diet, change my workout routine. I can get myself in shape because I coast. I can coast because I've always been in shape. I've always trained.
Yeah.
For me, intimate fasting is always very good. People, again, that's not, down its own is not amazing. For me, it's carb cycling. People eat far too many carbs. Yes, you need carbs as part of your diet. Going no carbs before marbs, all this stuff that TOWIE primed itself on, that's no good. That's like a crash diet. All these little diet fads when you're eating you're just having, 2 shakes of a certain thing and 1 meal. You can have 2 McDonald's shakes and 1 meal. You're going to lose weight. Start eating normally. You're going to listen, all that's bollocks.
Yeah.
If you want to lose weight, go and speak to a PT. Go and speak to a PT. But see, for me, if I'm going to look to go, which PT to go to?
Yeah.
Go to the PT that's in shape, that looks how you want to look. Because if they've got there, whether you say genetics or whatever else plays a part, everyone has got a similar blueprint.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We've all similar. Some people might have better genetics, but we have all got a similar blueprint. So go to the PT that looks how you want to look and get them to train you. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm actually incorporating this, and then also people that are relatable to you as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a bit older, I don't know, if you're a bit of an older lady or an older man, go to an older PT who's in a shape, because they're training how you need to train. You can't go to a youngster.
They understand your lifestyle.
Because even for me now, it's a lot. When I was younger, I could eat a lot more unhealthily and still be in shape than now.
Yeah.
Now I've got to be, as I'm getting older, I've got to be a lot more stricter. Now I've got a fitness app. I'm actually a qualified PT.
Okay.
I've got a fitness app. It's under reconstruction now. I'm going to relaunch that in the next month. But even with that, I'm tapping into different things. You've got me, who's for someone who wants to keep that beach body all year round, athletic. I've got another guy for the people that are more, the guys that want to be competition. I'm talking about getting down to that, next to 0% body fat, like competition, like standing on the stage, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've got a guy that's doing that. I've also got then another female influencer who's tapping into the young girls, got that beach body for the girls. And then I've got an older lady who's got, she's had her kids, she's gone through certain things that only women go through, and now she's trying to get back in shape. So then it taps into all 4 demographics in that sense. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm aware of that, but people need to be aware of that as well when they're looking for a PT and when they're looking for someone like a nutritionist or for a diet. But there's, again, on my thing, I don't know, I'm sitting there plugging now, but
no, go for it.
Again, half the reason I got into it was because I see so many PTs saying, I'll come and train you. And I'm like, I look at them and I'm thinking, I'm in better shape than you. Why are you going to come train me?
What can you tell me?
Yeah, exactly. What can you tell me?
Yeah.
And do you know what I'm saying? And I see so many people, people come up to me and they ask me, and when I just simplify it, I see about diet plans. I go, can I get a diet plan off you? You can. Yeah, don't go on. Look, if you want to take it to the next level, like take stage 2, you can. But when I tell them a few little things, just cutting out bread. Yeah. Stop eating bread. No proper PT or nutritionist will ever tell you to eat bread. Oh, a little bit's right. No, don't eat it. Don't need it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need bread. Get rid of it. And even things like pastas, pizzas, burgers, cakes, don't get me wrong, you do need a cheat day or a cheat meal once a week. Yeah. Because if you don't, you drive yourself mad. Whether that's having a couple of drinks, but even when you're having a couple of drinks, swap your drinks. Have a glass of wine, beer, worst thing in the world you can drink. Yeah. Having a couple of wines, having a vodka, soda and lime. I love tequila. I like tequila. Tequila pineapples is my summer drink. Yeah. Even I drink, people think, oh, I thought you didn't drink. No, I do. Just don't get shit-faced. Yeah, balance.
Balance. That's the word that's come out of this podcast for you, I feel.
Balance. Yeah. Name it. Lockie's balance.
Balance.
Balance with Lockie.
Sensei balance. That's it. But yeah, in terms of what I've learned from you in this podcast is actually also your drive, your ambition. You seem to be a bit of a perfectionist almost, you like to do things well, whatever you put your name to. in terms of body image and like the journey you've been on with your fitness, how do you not become obsessive over it?
Well, that's the problem, and this is why before I've had a chat on shows like Good Morning Britain about body dysmorphia.
Okay.
People don't really, again, body dysmorphia is a label, and people don't understand it fully. With body dysmorphia, anyone can have it, you know, and you normally find it more with the people that are in shape.
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm in shape, but I'm still chasing perfection. So, see, for instance, I've got to do a photo shoot in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm panicking. I'm now, even me. I'm a victim of it. I've just sat here and told you what's not to do, but then I start crash dieting and doing silly, you know, borderline starving myself. That's wrong. What am I doing? Then I check myself. I'm like, what am I doing?
You check
I
it.
see, I'm sitting when I'm being rational. I'm like, what am I doing? But I get to a point. I think, oh, fuck, I've got to do this shoot.
But I think that's so
Yeah.
relatable, Lockie.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's so helpful because it's the same with social media. We know it's all fake. Yeah, first of all,
But you buy into it.
we can't help it because you're seeing it so much, and then I have to put my phone down and like, whoa, to have a reality
That's the
check.
key thing. Putting your phone down. See scrolling. Put your phone down.
But yeah, sorry, in terms of the body dysmorphia and like becoming, you know, chasing this perfection, is that something that you've
We'll never find perfection. See, like even when people say there's never a right time to do something or start something, I was always putting things off. Just go and do it. I failed with a load of businesses and a load of things in life, not just businesses, loads of things. But I'm still here trying. I'm still hungry, you know, because, you know, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not happy where I want to be. This isn't me being greedy. It's just there's certain ambitions and dreams of mine that I haven't fulfilled.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that I believe in, you know, like the app, for instance, where I'm going to show people, you know, I believe in that because that's more, you know, like a self-help book.
Yeah.
I'm showing people what I'm preaching. So I'm not just saying to go out and do this. I'm going to pull it into one space. Come and look at that. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like one of these things where they're trying to sell stuff. That ain't even really to sell off. When you go on that, that's not going to make me a millionaire, that app.
Yeah.
Yeah, truthfully. So why am I doing it? This is the truth. That is something I'm passionate about. The fitness and the health is something I'm passionate about. Because on the app as well is to do with well-being mentally. It talks a little bit about everything I believe mentally and what keeps me straight. Going to the gym is the best therapy for me. Yes, you can talk to therapists, talk to your friends, your family. The best thing for the gym is, the best thing for mental health for me is the gym, whatever situation and whatever problem, you know. And it's just doing that in the right circumstances with the right people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's, you know, everyone's different. So not everyone's going to relate to me. And this is why I'm doing it as...
rounded.
Yes, exactly.
I think, you know, in summary of this conversation, I think it's actually makes perfect sense of why you will be launching the app, because it's almost like a summary of the journey that you've been on.
No, of course.
It's a 360 kind of like product at the end of everything that you've learned from your time on TOWIE, from who you were before you went on TOWIE, the relationships that you've been, you know, it seems like you've been on your own personal journey, and that's kind of being condensed into this app where you know, physical fitness and wellness is the main product, but actually there'll be so much benefit to it.
It isn't just that. Obviously, that's one thing. But yeah, that is that's one side. That's one dynamic of me as like a foundation, and I'm putting, you know, I'm just delegating even stuff within that going on in my own head.
Yeah.
I'm separating things. And when people are asking, it just makes it easier. They can go to that place, and if they've got a certain question about a certain thing, they can go there or here. Do you know what I'm saying? It just separates certain things for me, and for other people, just simplifies things. You know.
So what's next for you? Like, what's coming up?
I've got a few things. There's a few actually other like business. I've been quite. The last year I've stepped away from reality a little bit. I'm not doing TOWIE at the minute.
Okay.
I've taken a break from TOWIE. I'm still in contact.
Do you still enjoy it?
Yeah, no, I actually love the show. Okay. I do love the show. I enjoy being on the show. Like I said, my character, even though he's a bit of a fucker, is a light character. I enjoy it, and I've sort of assumed a big brother role on there now. So, you know, it's you know, TOWIE's becoming like an EastEnders. You know, it's becoming like he's got like a cult following.
Yeah. You
know, the show isn't going anywhere. It's still getting the numbers, the views.
Yeah.
Still very much loved, and I love the show. You know, that's what made me and gave me the platform and the life that I live today. But
nice bit of gratitude there.
Yeah, no, it is gratitude. Yeah, it's maybe whether the good. I've had some bad storylines on there, but again, it's taught me little lessons, and big lessons. But it's good. It's all good. But I've done a few reality shows now. I'm still doing reality, but I'm moving into the acting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm moving into the acting. That is my passion. When I first got into reality, I wanted to be an actor. Now, I don't just want to go and do a cameo. I've gone away. I'm doing acting classes. You know, I'm doing acting classes every week. I actually train with a guy called Jack Ryder, who used to be Jamie on EastEnders.
Okay, yeah,
Jamie
yeah,
Mitchell
yeah.
back in the day.
He was a heartthrob back
Yes,
in the day.
yeah. So he's my acting coach. So, you know, I'm there. I've got a few things, potential things coming, chats with directors and other bits and pieces. There's things happening within that. But you know, I've got to get there the right way. I'm not trying to go on somewhere and be, you know, be the Jason Statham. But one day if I can get to where he is,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? If you set your sights there, yeah, I'm going in that direction. Away from that, again, I've got loads of numerous different little businesses, little projects that I'm putting myself in getting myself involved with. Like there's, you know, most of it is like fitness and, you know, like a lot of like fitness and health brands. I've got like fitness, like Lucky Fitness, gym equipment, stuff like that as well. Then supplement brands. You'll see, like, watch this space. There's a few things that I'm launching. I've been spent a lot of time the last year getting them all ready, but you know, things that take time normally last. When I've rushed things in the past, I just tried to launch something, or just put my name to something. It never lasts. This is what I can understand. Like, see, like now, I'm looking to, you know, build businesses, rather than just be a tool. You know, and you know, where people make me an affiliate.
Yeah.
You know, and get the quick cash. I'm thinking about the long game now. You know,
Building.
You know, just being a bit more, you know, not struggling as such, not struggling, but it's like taking a step back, living a bit more humbly, investing my money instead of doing certain things, investing it into business and myself, self growth and development, and then in the long run, once this all starts to accumulate and build and launches, you know, I'm looking to the future. It's going to be good. I'm excited. I've got a lot of stuff going on, which I'm buzzing about.
I think, again, as well, just to finish it off for the people that are viewing, I think something that's really come out through this conversation is that you're constantly like developing, you're constantly on the move. And I think these days, a lot of people who are struggling with their mental health or, you know, worried about where they fit into the world, they're just static. They're like, something isn't working in my life and I don't know what to do about it.
Why do you have to fit into the world? This is the thing. Like, again, people are putting problems in front of themselves. You haven't got to fit. You want to be individual. Don't be a sheep. If you fit, that's the problem. That means you're a sheep. Do you know what I'm saying? And we can go into another conversation about that where people will just, exactly. Don't fit. Be an individual. Do you know what I'm saying? If people have got opinions about you, then obviously you're doing something right. If they've got nothing to say about you, then you're not doing something. You know, you've got to, you know, you don't want to be everyone's best friend. You don't need to be everyone's best friend. Just be your own best friend. Being selfish sometimes, having self-worth and looking after yourself, you've got to be selfish. That is, you know, you got one life. It's your life. Go and live it. You know what I'm saying? I see people far too, especially kids, want to fit into society. You know what I'm saying? That's something you need to get out of them ASAP. See kids wanting to be cool, they have to wear that coat, them trainers. You know what I'm saying? That phone.
And
whatever.
the pressure on parents.
Yeah, the pressure on parents. But you don't need to conform to that. You don't need to conform to that. Do you know what I'm saying? That is where the problem. That's another problem again in itself. Stop that. You don't need to fit in anything. Yeah, like I keep saying, repeat myself, but you want to be an individual. Individuals are the ones that stand out and go the distance. You know, the top 1% are individuals. Yeah. You know, they're not. You know, they're 99%. They're all sheep. I'm funny at the minute. Listen, even I've obviously got traits of being a sheep because I'm not where I want to be. Do you know what I'm saying? That's something, again, realisation. I'm not putting it as a negative. That is aspirational. That's not meant negative. That's an aspirational thing because I want to be everyone wants to be in the 1%. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in that. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in that top, in that elite.
Well, that was a very insightful conversation.
I know. I can talk, can't I?
You can talk, but that's fantastic. And I feel like you're a bit like an onion. I don't know if you've heard that before. There's loads of layers. That
Yeah,
like
a few people have said this. Yeah,
peeling back. But thank you so much for being so honest and transparent. And I do really feel like everyone, you know, not just men, young girls as well, will gain so much from, you know. And this is the thing, you've had to learn the hard way through lots of your experiences, but the fact that you're able to now sum it up and pass on those words of wisdom is so beneficial to everyone.
Of course. No, I appreciate it. Thank you for the time.